What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford shuts down the idea of fighting Keith Thurman and states that he wants to go right into the Errol Spence fight. That's my counterpunch to that, people. Applauses, 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 because Keith Thurman, I think, like Keith Thurman, don't get me wrong, I like Keith Thurman. Charismatic, could be a great sports commentator. I think that he's going to do that in the future. You know, good boxer, was beaten by Manny Pacquiao, one of Manny Pacquiao's last greatest performances of his career. You know, so it really took Keith Thurman to show how good Manny Pacquiao was, or how great Manny Pacquiao was. So, you know, and he gave one hell of a performance, taking his first ass whooping. On that note, does he deserve this opportunity? No, he doesn't. Would I watch that fight with Terence Crawford and Keith Thurman? Would be a good fight? Yeah, I would love to see the fight, but would I rather see him fighting Errol Spence? Yes. Why? For many reasons. 34 and 32. If he fought Keith Thurman, that will just push more time. That's more prep time. That's more age time. That's more time away from your pinnacle or your prime. Okay. Errol Spence, I think he's the best he could ever be. Terence Crawford, I think he's the best he could ever be. Why would we want any other fight? Counterpunch. Again, no disrespect to Keith Thurman, but the world doesn't really want to see Thurman versus Crawford. Okay, we've already seen Porter versus Crawford. So we can't say we'll know what happens, but this is what we can say. We've seen Terence Crawford take on one of the best representatives of the PBC in their lineup. You know, Sean Porter is a guy that is no pushover. Sean Porter is a guy that definitely deserves recognition for being beaten. Okay, he beat Sean Porter. So Keith Thurman had a hell of a fight with him. So did Errol Spence. So we know, hey, we know that Terence Crawford is the real deal at what? 147. Okay, so if we know he's the real deal, why would we even really worry about having another fight in front of the fight we want to see? Fine. Hey, if you beat Errol Spence, then we can see Keith Thurman. Then that would be an undisputed champion. Or vice versa, or whatever. Then Keith Thurman can fight the winner. But saying, hey, why don't you throw me in there when I really haven't even earned any merit to do that? You fought Mario Barrios on your way in, your way back in. You've been out of the ring, the fight game for a long time. He got married, cut his hair, and all that shit, right? So, doing all that, knowing all that, I'm glad that Terence Crawford was like, you know what, I don't need that. Now, if they were still dicking him around, maybe he was at top rank or whatever, but that wasn't even going to happen because Keith Thurman didn't want to fight, you know, and he's called Bob Arum a cheap whatever, cheap SOB. It wasn't going to happen, in other words. So, I'm glad that Terence Crawford decided, no, let's keep our eye on the prize. No sidelining, none of that. That's not needed. And I'm glad Terence Crawford is wanting the best fight. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Terence Crawford's decision to go right at Errol Spence and dismiss the idea of fighting Keith Thurman. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.